And we're live. All right.
Woo, woo.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Max. We're kicking off the first episode of The Land of 10,000 Sounds. I'm here with my buddy Chase Grant. What's going on, man?
That's me. Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be the first guest.
First guy, baby.
You did this pretty quick. I feel like we were just talking about the first conversation about this was like a week ago, I feel like, and now here we are.
Yeah, now here we are. We're just gonna get right to it. So, give the people a little backstory about you and who you are.
Yeah. So I grew up in Rush City, just as yourself.
Go.
14, baby. Rush City
2018,
Tigers.
man.
Yeah, I grew
Sir.
up playing sports, just your average, small town kind of living and stuff like that. And played guitar when I was 12. I think I picked it up for the first time and never really looked back. I can't say that. I guess there were some times where I kind of put it down for a while, but the last few years
That's
have
me too, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, no, you haven't.
Well, I mean, I've gone through phases, like where I see someone really good, and I'm just like, you know what, I quit.
You don't just throw it off
I
the
just
quad.
dump it, man. Yeah, can't do that though.
No, I just had a calling for it the last couple of years, and it's really grown quickly as far as musicianship, and we're getting into all that today.
Yeah, so Chase and I graduated in 2018. Chase was a little bit older than myself, and we kind of reconnected. We weren't really buddies in high school, but we kind of knew of each other. But we reconnected like in 2018, 2019. We were both up north, and we were kind of working out at a Snap Fitness up there. We both randomly ran into each other. And I'm like, oh, is that Chase guy? And I called him on Snapchat, and he looked at his phone mid-set while he was lifting some dumbbells or something. And it was him.
Yeah. Well, I'm an introvert, so had my head down the whole time, just had my headphones on, lifting weights, not going to talk to anybody. I don't know anybody up here. It's
dude,
Detroit
that was pretty crazy though, because that was kind of like the first time when we started like actually talking. Right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Pretty much. I had you on Snapchat or whatever, or Facebook Messenger. But
yeah, because we didn't really like jam or I didn't even know you played guitar, honestly. Like growing up.
Well, back then I wasn't really. It was just in my bedroom still. Like I had them, but they weren't on display or anything yet. Like
when I feel like when you're in high school too, because you were what? So I was graduating 18 and you were 14.
14.
You said? So I would have been like in 8th grade. You probably would have been like a senior.
Yeah, somewhere
and
around
that's
there.
That's like a grown ass adult.
Yeah, there's a big age jump for like when you're that young, and now being that you're 26 now.
Yeah, now it's not a big deal. But like when you're starting out, it's a big deal. You're like, right. Man, this guy's an adult. This guy's an adult, and I'm not going to say nothing. Which you're still not. Well, you're more adult than me, but
Yeah, well, are any of us really adults? I mean, it's the world we live in. We try to be, but.
But no, Chase has his solo thing. You can find him Chase Grant Music online and stuff. We do shows when we can together. Chase also plays in the Farmer's Daughters, and he's been kicking ass for the last 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, it's been good. It's over 2 now.
Really? When did you play your first solo gig? My
first solo gig would have been late 2023.
Where was that at? Do you remember
that would have been Iron Street Distillery in St. Cloud.
Really?
They took a chance on me for that. Was literally I had one band gig under my belt, I think, at that time. And I just tried to wrangle together something solo. Well, actually, I had your guidance for that because I had called you after my first band gig because I knew I kind of wanted to start doing this on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I had called you and I remember asking, what PA do I buy? And what do I need to, start doing the solo? And how many songs do I need? What do I get paid? All the, your average questions that you just had no idea about until you start diving into this world of solo musicians,
It's definitely more of a business thing because I've been in and out of bands, and I started my solo thing in 2018 right out of high school. So I had some shitty little jobs, and I was like, I don't want to work for the man. I don't want to work for the man.
Yeah, I get that.
I'll probably end up working for the man at some point, but I don't want to work for the man right now. Yeah, so basically, I want to know what got you into playing guitar. I know you're a Skinner guy, but is that the first thing you remember with playing music?
Yeah.
Or wanting to play music, I should say.
Yep. Looking back, that's probably my earliest memory of music. I just made a video about this recently. It was probably about 2004, 2005, somewhere in there, when I had gotten that CD from my mom. Yeah. Well, that's all a true story. She got that CD that was, about that time. I remember always that was a big thing for us, going to Walmart with mom on Fridays and always the new CD release section back then. And we were listening to anything from Dierks Bentley to Jason Aldean when he first came out. So this is 2003, 2004. And I just I we listened to these songs on repeat, and you got to know like the album tracks too. It wasn't just the singles like it is nowadays. And so I remember really diving deep into different sounds, and I always thought about like, wow, how do they do that guitar sound? It wasn't until Skinner when I was like really like, okay, cranking this up a little bit, like
Yeah, right.
really, honing in on that guitar thing. And
Freebird?
yeah, it
Was
was.
that your song? Freebird?
I mean, yes,
Or
but it was.
not really?
I liked it, but it was always seemed like it was like too far out of reach. Like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to play that one. So I
Yeah,
listened to it wishfully, but
right.
thinking like, okay, I probably could learn Sweet Home Alabama, but like Freebird seems like it's
Dude, the
hard.
first time I heard Freebird, I was playing Guitar Hero. Which shout out to whoever made Guitar Hero, man, because like as a kid growing up, like at 6 years old playing music, or playing not music, but like you're learning music still.
Yeah.
And like, dude, you think about did you used to play with Guitar Hero at all?
God, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, think about how many songs you learned playing guitar. Dude, I remember the first time I heard Freebird, I was shredding that thing on expert mode when I was like 7 or 8, right? Because I was just a god, dude, right?
Hmm.
Same with you, I'm
You
guessing.
are you were on extreme. No, I always played on easy
We
mode,
were in
dude.
extra. Oh my god, dude, you still
I was
play
more of
like
a remember the game Rock Band?
you still play like you're on easy mode.
I still play like I'm on easy mode. Nothing wrong with
I was
that.
just kidding, dog.
Nice, easy, and laid back in the pocket right here.
Yeah, but no, I remember playing Freebird for the first time, and then I remember running to my dad, and I was like, "Dad, you gotta check out this new song. It's called Freebird."
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And I'm like, Dad, you gotta check out this song called Freebird. It's sweet. It's like so long. It's like all these guitar solos. And my dad's just sitting there laughing at me, like
Good
it's
dad.
like, well,
I've been listening to that for the last 30 years, son.
well, I know. But like, dude, I remember like all those songs, like the Rock the 80s one. That's what I had. Yeah. All those songs. And like I'm trying to think what was on that first one. Like Danzig. I remember there was like a Danzig song on
Danzig, I
one of
think there was
them.
like your staples of like, even like the chick rock, like Heart and Pat Benatar and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Slow Ride by Foghat, things like that.
Right. Well, it's funny because even just like holding the like plastic guitar with the buttons and stuff on it, it's like okay, if I actually want to do this, I could do this. If I'm playing on expert mode, I could probably do this. But like, obviously, it's
Yeah.
totally different.
You
But
make a good point. I guess I never really thought about the games being that much of an influence, but yeah, we did kind of grow up in a time where it was like that. I mean, that was a brand new concept because there was not a game
totally,
like that
dude.
before then at
Mm-mm.
all, ever.
Dude, that was like the coolest thing. I think it was like 2005. The first one, 2006 or something like that. I was 5 or 6 years old, dude, and I remember my brother Jake and I do. We would be dueling, because you could have the two guitars, and we would go back and forth. He would win one, then I would win one, and he would win one. We would just go back and forth all freaking night.
Hmm.
And but yeah, it was a cool way to learn songs. But yeah, I think just like holding it and pressing the buttons down, but then it kind of transfers over, just to but like the hand-eye coordination was huge. So I don't know. I think that had a big influence on me too, as far as like wanting to play.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
Well,
think
now that
listening
you're
to
saying
favorite
this, I'm
bands.
starting to kind of put together like almost like core memories that I didn't really think about before because I always knew it started around 12. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking 2005, I would have been about 9. And so it was, I heard that music. And then probably 2 years later is when we got Rock Band. We didn't get it like right off fresh off the shelf. So then I remember learning a couple of those songs. And
Yeah,
right about that time, actually, shout out to Mr. Kirby. It was 6th grade. He was teaching a World War I lesson based off of the Metallica video. He
dude,
probably did it for you guys too.
I remember this. I
Hmm.
remember this. He had that Blitzkrieg tune. We were talking about the
That one,
kamikaze
and
stuff.
then it was The Wall or Pink Floyd Run, whatever song that is. I can't think of it. He's gonna be mad at me for
Dude,
not knowing
Kirby,
that.
we're gonna have to send this to him and be like, "Come get him."
But the one I remember the most was that Metallica tune for one, because it was the video was
Yeah,
from that movie Johnny's Got His Gun, and it was that World War I thing. That's how he taught his whole lesson for that day or that week off of that video,
right.
and it was
Yeah,
that was eye opening for me, man. I was like, holy crap, there's a whole world beyond Leonard Skinner. Like, what is this?
yeah, dude. Yeah, I love teachers like those because like it actually made teaching fun and like when you were into it, like into
Yeah,
the music stuff, and some people just like could give two shits about it. But I always thought it was sweet, dude, when someone was like, "All right, we're gonna learn about this," and they pop on a music video,
that's a long-winded way to talk about music journey, but that's now that we're
Yeah,
this is like a therapy session. We're like digging up like
I know,
musical
dude.
roots
You
here. I didn't
just
even
get
think
on
about
this
some
thing
of
and
this
just
stuff.
start talking, dude.
Remember?
Dude, I remember. I think it was fifth grade, Mrs. Williams class.
Okay.
In my elementary, we had to pick a song and like talk about the music video. And all these other kids, they had like pop songs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? Guess what Max did?
Death Angel.
No.
Testament.
which they were not that great the other day. I'm not gonna lie. First time I saw Death Angel was with Testament and Exodus, and they had like something to prove, and like yeah, this time was not as great.
Yeah,
But whatever. But no, fifth grade, we had to pick a music video and explain like what the music video is about. So I was talking to my dad, and we ended up going with "Hot for Teacher," "Hot for Teacher" by Van Halen. I don't know if you remember the music video,
I do remember the music video.
but there's like the teacher dancing on the desks, and I don't
Uh-huh.
think she was able to show the video. She let me do
Probably
it.
not.
She let me do it. I could, I remember going up to the class. We had to like talk about what the song was about too. And I went up to the class, and I was like, "All right, everybody, this song is about a student having the hots for their teacher.
Oh my God.
They like their teacher," and that was it. I didn't really know like
At the end by Max Aitken.
the end by Max Avon. Yeah, it's in the song title, "Hot for Teacher." Don't you get it? You can't understand it yet.
You didn't even have to explain it. You just had to say the
Do I
title.
really have to explain this?
I dropped my pencil.
Yeah. Well, and like right in the beginning too, in the background, there's a part where it's like it says the F word. It's like F man, like in the background. You can't really hear it, but like when you look in the
Oh,
lyrics,
yeah.
it's there. And I remember she pulled up the lyric video for the lyrics so people could read the lyrics, which was probably not a good idea. But it had that in there too. So it was just like right on the
No.
screen, it was like the big F word right in fifth grade in front of the whole class, and the whole class was like, yeah, dude.
Did you also get an F for that then?
No, I got an A plus plus. Because
Really?
this teacher was singing it, the parent in there was singing along to it. I was obviously taking my pencils, tapping it on the desk like I would always do. I couldn't
Right.
sit still. I'd always be like tapping both my feet. I still do that to this day, dude.
God,
Like
you're
if
bringing
I'm
up another
sitting,
weird core memory that I never
would you do
talked
that
about
too?
either. Oh God, yeah. You know what else I did? It was not just with like
Music
hands or
people.
pencils. Like I clicked my teeth.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I never thought much about that. I always kept that to myself until I read a Dave Grohl book, and he was talking about he would do the same thing, like tapping, and then it was always he was like grinding his molars down because he was like clicking his back teeth
It's
together,
like
like
were you
drumming.
playing drums like in your mouth?
Kinda, yeah. It's like almost like an involuntary response to like,
Yeah.
kind of getting into the groove like how you would with your hands, but like,
Yeah, right. Dude, I would sit there instead of using my hands, like instead of using my hands as like little drums, I would flex my little pec muscles. Dude, have you done that before? Or is
no.
that just me? No,
Well, maybe as
because
a
like, dude,
joke or something.
I'm doing it right now. You guys see it, but like, I would use my right one as like my right hand, like my right arm, and then my left one as like my left arm. I still do that, dude. So I'm not like moving, but I'm just like
Right.
flexing them. You can barely see it. But I remember sitting in class one day too, and the kids looking at me. He's like, "What is he doing?" Because I
Okay, we
got
get it, dude. You lift, all right? We get it.
well, no, dude, I was like in sixth grade. I don't
I
know.
know.
I'm just
That's
thick.
funny.
I'm just short and thick. I'm built like a box. Two C's, baby.
Two
But
C's
I would
now.
take my right pec and use it as the hi hat, and I would take my left one and use it as the snare, and I would use my foot as a kick drum.
God forbid there's a huge tom roll in the song.
Oh, dude, freaking listening to Rush, trying to flex that with your pecs, dude, just like.
What about that transition for the song "Ba Wada Ba" by Kid Rock?
Oh yeah, dude, Kid Rock was so sweet. You saw Kid Rock a few times, right?
I've seen him once, and I've seen enough people to say that he was my favorite performer ever.
Yeah, I
So
saw him
I don't even
last
care if
year.
you
It was
don't like his
badass.
music. Like
Right.
even if you don't know anything, you could go there and have a really fun time because he just did so much stuff.
Energetic, dude. He owns the
Super
stage,
energetic.
man. It's I there's nothing worse for me than like going to a concert and then like a whole band is standing there. The worst show I've ever seen was Chevelle.
Really.
Hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was just three guys up there that just stood there and played. Nothing. Yeah, it
See, I'm
was.
I'm a little bit different with that. Like I like to. I'm a mover when I'm on stage. At my acoustic shows, I'm usually like kind of glued to my mic stand because
Well,
I
I
like
will
to
say
settle
when we do have a stage, because I know for a fact playing solo gigs we do not always have stages. So
99% of the
watch
time.
what you
Not.
say.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like at
Yeah,
solos, I'm kind of glued to my mic stand because I'm usually
right.
kicking that foot pedal. But like when I'm playing with TFD, man, I'm roaming. Like I cannot sit
Sure.
still.
No,
So
that's
I'm that way. But I also can appreciate like going to see like an acoustic show where they're just on stools the whole time. Like it doesn't really bother me. Like yeah, that's not as energetic or fun, but
you gotta
you
know
have
what
to
the
kind of know
vibe
what you're
is.
getting yourself into as well. But if you have a band that's like that comes out and does that where they don't move, but then the next act does, then that's kind of weird. It's like you should kind of have like the same energy a little bit. Like you're there to warm up the crowd for whoever. Like you should have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things too. Like if you're opening up for a different band, like I get you wanting to go out there because there was a Skinner story with that too. I can't remember who it was. They told Skinner not to like be more energetic as a headlining band, but it's escaping me who that band was. Do you
Oh, I
remember
can
it?
tell you what it is.
I bet you could tell me what
I'm
it
a
is. Yeah,
super nerd.
yeah. You tell me. Yeah, tell me what was that
Um,
story?
if it's one I'm if it's the one I think that you're thinking of, it's, when they opened up for the Rolling Stones.
That's what it is. Yep,
So it was because they had the stage with the lips and the tongue
yep,
was like
yep, yep.
the
That's what it
walkout
was.
part, and so that was the one rule that Mick Jagger had was like, "Do not go out on that tongue." And Ronnie was like, "Yep, a few guys like
Yep.
you're." They brought the whole band out there as far
Yeah.
as their chords would let them go.
Well, it's funny talking to different sound guys too, because like they'll cut off half the PA system for some of the opening bands. They'll turn off like half the subs or something so it doesn't sound as full.
Mm,
Have you heard of that?
no, I haven't, but that makes sense. Trying to
Well,
hype up
yeah,
the
because then like when the big band comes on, it's like full in your face, but like the first band is like half, half there, and
yeah.
yeah, that's always
That
I
kinda
don't know.
yeah, that sucks. Because then because I don't know, I love that story because like, it was his way of, like, "We're gonna blow the Rolling Stones out of the water. Like, we are here for one job, and that's to, like, make people remember us." And, yeah, that stinks because you could do as much as you could, and you still wouldn't overwhelm the crowd just because you don't have that as much presence physically in the room with everything shut off. That sucks.
Right. I know, like, even talked to my dad and some other guys. They had this Monsters of Rock in 1988. It
Mhm,
was with like Metallica, Dokken, Scorpions, a couple other bands that I can't remember right now. But no, but that at that tour and like even back in the day, it was all a big competition, So like bands were doing that, and they were like kind of it was like kind of like a fight for like who's gonna get the top spot. Metallica was there
sure,
too.
sure.
And yeah, I feel like now it's just kind of I don't know, it's different now. It's all pay to play too, which I also don't like.
Right. Yeah, and everything's controlled a lot more than what it used to be. Like, I'm sure back then they were setting up the PA and then it was set, like to a point. Like, I don't think they were switching things on and out off as much as, they can now just with a
Right.
click of a button.
So yeah, side note, let's talk about you some more. How many so you do a lot of solo gigs. I know you're in the Farmer's Daughters.
Hmm.
We obviously have duo shows together. We actually have a private party this weekend.
We sure
That
do.
should be fun.
Hmm.
We haven't played in a couple weeks together,
Been
maybe?
a couple weeks now. We'll have the next 2 Saturdays.
Because we got private party and then we're at Froggy's, I think, right? In Pine City.
Yep. Froggies in Pine City.
So that'll be fun. If you guys are listening to this and around, come on out. In the meantime, yeah, Chase is playing solo gigs like 3 times a day. And
There's been
yeah, I feel like, 'cause where are you at this weekend?
This weekend, so on Thursday, I'm gonna be at the Isani VFW, and then on Friday, I'm gonna be at Iron Street Distillery in St. Cloud, and that's an earlier show than normal. We're gonna do it from like 5 to 7,
Right
and
on.
that is gonna be for an event for a ladies' event that's coming out there. You can find more details about that stuff on Facebook and follow Iron Street.
Sweet.
And then yeah, Saturday we got that private party.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward
Hmm.
to that private show. It's always nice, like public gigs versus private gigs. It's just different crowd. I mean, it's the same type of thing. But it's I feel like the private parties it's a little bit you can kind of tailor it towards whatever they kind of want more. And like if they want one more particular type of genre or something like that. Yeah, and if you like it, it's even more fun. Obviously they book you for a reason and me because I'm with you, I
Hmm.
guess, but they more so booked you.
Well, he had seen me first, but yeah, it's when I mentioned the duo, he wanted that just for like because that it's a nice touch because then you don't have to hire a full band at that full band price. You get much more noise control because you're
Yeah.
like background at these things, but also you're meant to be heard because they hired music for a purpose. Like so, it's like glorified background in a sense.
Yeah.
That
And
that,
like
that might sound kind of bad, but like
it is
it's
though.
nicer
I
than
mean,
being
cuz I mean, I
regular
get
background.
I get that all the time like, "Oh, you play solo gigs and you don't want to be seen." Is that why you're doing that? Or like
Sure.
or you have the other guys that are like, "Oh, doesn't it bother you that people aren't paying attention to you?" It's like, "Well, not really because I'm able to make a career out of it and I'm getting paid to play my guitar." Like, is that so bad? I don't like people are paying it even if people aren't looking at you, they're still listening.
I've
And
noticed
like,
that too. It's
yeah,
weird to get your head wrapped around that concept, but I've had that happen a lot of times where like no one's like clapping or getting into it. So I'll just keep rolling into songs to like prevent the awkward, like in between song dips. And then after, you take a break and then people that you didn't think turn their head but twice are all of a sudden like, dude, this is great.
right. Or like you go on your break and then some lady who didn't even look at you at
Right.
all sticks her hand out and like stops you and like, oh, good job, man. That sounds good. So like at least people are listening, But yeah, it's a weird going from full band gigs to solo gigs. But I feel like to be a good musician, you kind of have to do it all. Really.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that, like, humbling experience too of, like, having to work a room that's, not necessarily, like, all about, being on the dance floor and, like, the novelty of a band loud and in your face. Like, you have to learn how to sit there with a smile even if there's, like, nothing really engaging in the room, and that's a
Yeah,
tough thing to do.
and like the tough thing for me is like it's not having zero people in there; it's having three or four people in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like they're still in there. They don't, they're in there to enjoying their company, but you still have to work. But like, it's like
You feel
there's no
obligated to have to do something, whereas, like,
right.
if it's 0, you're like, "Well, okay, I'll just take a break for a while
Well, yeah,
till
then it's just like
it
okay,
fills up."
there's nothing going on here. But if there's three people in the bar or in a venue or in a brewery or something, you're like, oh man, I got to still play at my full potential here. But
Exactly.
like, yeah, I mean, we've all had those gigs where there's like three, four people in there. I mean, we were just talking the other day too, like a few weeks ago. You said you had a bad gig as well, like with no
Yeah,
people,
I
and
had
like
one
I had
where,
the
yeah,
same
just
thing, dude.
yeah. It's weird. It's just something to get used to, and strangely enough, you do.
Yeah,
I think people feel bad around it, and it's like, "Hey, I'm getting paid either way, I usually
but
get a fee."
dude, I will say with sometimes you almost make more tips when there's less people because I don't know if it's like a sympathy thing. Because like I've totally had this where it's like, oh, we feel bad for you.
I know, you feel like one of
Here's
those
some
dogs
money.
on the Sarah McLachlan commercials, you're just, like, shaking in your kennel like, "Oh,
Well,
I feel
yeah,
bad for me.
you're just hungry and like you're cold. You know,
Feed me.
if you beat
I
it.
haven't eaten in 12 hours. Oh, you
Yeah,
poor thing."
it's basically how they're looking at you when you're doing
"I
that.
haven't eaten since before I just came here. Help."
Yeah, right. I know, dude. It's funny too. Seeing like different tip signs and stuff like that. Like, oh, on a scale from 1 to 10, $1 to $10, like how hot are you? Like stuff like
I
that.
may be careful.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can do to make solo gigs more fun for yourself. I know you're like the king of props. You got like the inflatable little tube guys and your extra lights and your signs and you go freaking all out, man.
Yeah, and I just that
Adds
solo
to
kinda
it though.
started happening over time, and it was never, like, a sense of, like, "I'm gonna use this to, like, overcompensate for the music," because like, I'm giving it my all when I'm singing, and I get a lot of really good. I'm not saying this in, like, a bragging sense, but, like, that it's I've been told about, like, the authenticity or the rawness of
Mhm.
the show and, like, the just, like, heavy vocals and
Yeah.
really giving it, and, all that extra stuff just enhances that. Because I went to a few shows where I'm just, like, watching a guy
It's
sitting
the
on a
same
stool
thing,
just
man.
playing Wonderwall, and I'm like, I don't get into this, and,
It's the
like, if
same thing.
it's a lot of work to set up that extra stuff, but, like, I enjoy it. I have more fun when I have that set up because I've been complimented about my setup quite a bit, so,
Right. Well, that's good. And like
yeah.
it's weird playing solo gigs too because you kind of have to find your own style of it.
Mhm.
So for me, I always liked like my grandpa. Like the first song I learned was "Pipeline" by the Ventures, all that surf guitar stuff,
Well, yeah,
and I kind of like that style, and it always kind of stuck with me. And I'm like, you know what? We're in Minnesota, but there's nobody doing the surf guitar summer beach thing. So like that was my. I just played one gig at the Grumpy Minnow on Rush Lake, and I charged him like, dude, it was like $50 for like 3 hours. It was so true. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to get my name out there. I didn't even really have a name, but yeah, I was taking a shower, like where all my good ideas come to me in the shower, and I was like,
makes sense.
obviously, and yeah, I was like, whoa, what rhymes with Max? And I was like, relax, relax rhymes with Max. I'm like, relax with Max. I'm like, wow, that, and then here I am, like 8 years later.
I was gonna say, you can't even really joke about it because it
No,
actually has stuck the test of time, and, like,
dude, yeah,
you've made a
it's a thing.
you've paved your way into, like, different territories too. It's not like you're still playing just Rush City, you definitely have pushed it, you know?
But I mean, it is funny though, like when random ideas hit you. But like, just like going back, like that's my niche of like that's my thing. Even though I can play
Yeah,
anything, but you have to market yourself different because there's so many people doing the same stuff. It's the same. A lot of it's the same songs. It's the top
truly.
200 songs. You see the same people playing them, but it's like what separates you from other people, what's gonna make you get gigs, what's gonna make you beat the other guy. It's a competition, it's a game.
Yep, exactly. I've done that. I've taken that in a sense too. Like my biggest thing has always been a huge variety because I grew up. I always
Mhm.
tell this to people, but like in my house, it was in any given day we could be listening to George Jones in the morning, Waylon Jennings by the afternoon, and then nighttime it's Limp Bizkit and Tupac and
Slayer,
NWA, who Slayer, who yeah, who knows? Like sitting around a
Obituary.
fire, anything goes. Like I always grew up with just a huge variety of music, especially when streaming started and like before that, like, things like the illegal downloading services and stuff like that. We always had, I won't say the names so I don't get flagged for it 20
Yeah,
years later, but yeah, I always had an MP3 player loaded with like just randomness. And so that I like that a lot. And so I've tried to bring that to my shows and like that too. Like
yeah.
literally we'll be doing Waylon Jennings and 3 songs later we're starting to transition into stick
It
figure stuff and
slowly
then
gets into a little bit
make our way
everything.
back out of it somehow. Like we have to find a route out of that. So it's like for me, it's like, okay, like go with like Kenny Chesney or something, because then get that island vibe back into country, and
Right, I know. It
short
is
flows.
it is fun though too. Like sometimes I'll do this at my gigs. I'll do like some like Dream Lover, like Bobby Darin or something like that,
Mm,
like a '60s tune, like Runaway, and then I'll
yep.
then I'll kick it in with like something totally random. Like it's so, but it gets people turning their heads, and
Right.
it's like a game of like bingo. Like let's pull the thing and pull the ball. Boom! What song is this? Let's do it. It is funny because like it gets a fun reaction from people, and it keeps it fresh for both of us too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's cool to have, to know that you can put your voice into those different genres and make it work for you. You're not
Right.
singing it exactly reggae-ish when you're doing that kind of stuff. Or like you're always making it your style, but people appreciate the variety.
Because like yeah, as far as singing goes, when did you actually start singing in front of people?
Not very long ago. It was right after we got married, so it was 2021. Yeah, maybe even early 22. It was before Emmy was born. So, oh,
Would
yeah,
you?
so I suppose it would be, yeah, round in the corner of 2022, I sang in front of my wife for the very first time. And my avenue of music starting was through church worship, and
Okay.
so I
I
had to
was gonna say, dude,
audition for this team.
if you were married to me and I heard you sing for the first time, I probably would have divorced you just
Well,
right
thank
then
you.
and there.
Yeah,
I would have
thanks.
just been like, I was just like, boom, done, boom.
Get out of here. Done with this.
But no, that's cool though. I mean, I remember seeing you singing for the first time too, and definitely come a long way for sure.
Yeah, it it was always like something that I knew I could do because like I sang in the car and like the shower like everybody
Right,
does, but like
right.
I had a sense of like, okay, I think I can do this. But it's just that fear factor of getting over
Different.
that hump of like performing in front of people. And it's hard as hell. And I think it's everybody has that. And until you can kind of conquer that, it really wasn't ever people that were my problem. It was, it's yourself. You gotta get past your own
It's a confidence
walls.
thing, yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I like, cause
Once you
I
do.
just started singing in July, and, like, that's one thing I learned. It's just all confidence, and if you're trying to sound like this, let's just say, like, Motley Crue or something, if you're trying to sound like Vince Neil, you're gonna sound like a nasally rat of, like it's just not gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, like,
You
you have
almost
to
like
do it
you
your own
have to
way.
be able to nail it if you're gonna do something like that.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna do that, like, you better do it well. Cause like, how many tribute bands do we see or cover bands where it's like, "Oh, man," they're trying to sound like him, but if they were just to do it in their side, like their own way, like sing using their own tone of their voice and not trying to like match the other guy's tone,
Right.
it would automatically be better. And there's a time and place for it too, but like I think generally speaking, at least for like the level that we're doing it at, just like cover bands and stuff like that, you have to
Well,
kind of
people
find your
feel
own
that.
voice.
Yeah, people feel that, like, I if you like, that's a good example, Vince Neil, like, I think naturally, just as people, I think we're kinda copycats, like, everybody rips off everybody, right? Like, in the
Hmm.
end, somehow, some way, in everything that
Right.
they do, and so, like, if you're up there singing a Motley Crue song, you're probably gonna be thinking in that vein of, like,
You're in that
what that
mindset.
sounds like, so you're probably gonna just naturally sorta emulate that way, but if you can just, like, don't feed into that, but just sing it your own way, you're still gonna kinda come off as, like, covering that song in a Vince Neely way, but not like exactly like him, more like yourself.
Right. And I think that's where like the difference between tribute bands and cover bands maybe kick in,
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother
and that's okay too. Like
can of worms too.
it is, and that's a cool avenue of music. But again, I think those guys that do like the good tribute bands, they like nail it. Whether it's the
Right.
style, the voice, the looks, everything.
They're, like, on it, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, like, when
and
you're
I think
looking
that
at them,
separates the good ones from some cover band that's trying to be a tribute band.
right? 'Cause I mean, even, like, seeing, like, the Beatles like tribute bands, stuff like that. Like it's cool for like us because we obviously didn't get to see the Beatles, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
you
in
can
their
see
prime.
members of them. Like I just saw Paul McCartney not too long ago, which was awesome, but like seeing the actual band is a whole nother thing. So if a tribute band does it right, you can kind of get the same feel of like, you know, what it was like. Obviously, you know that they're just not the same, but you're like, "Oh man, I wish I was born in this decade or something so I could actually see this in person."
Yeah, takes you back in time a little bit. You can get capture the feeling of what it would have been like in the room.
Or even just seeing bands in their prime, you know, like how many bands do we go to now? And it's like, oh man.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody gets old, unfortunately, and
Oh, I know. That
it's a
is a nice thing about
sad
playing
truth.
guitar, dude, because your fingers are your fingers unless you know, cut one off or something like that, doing something stupid. But like,
Yeah,
you can still kind of, and you know, it's still you. But if you're singing, your voice is gonna change. So it's,
yeah.
I mean, it's
That's the
like,
thing people don't talk about enough. I've noticed that with a lot of groups that I listen to, like you go back
mhm,
20 years ago and it still sounds like them, but they grow and they change and their age defines that your vocals. Whereas like guitars, yeah, they're always still going to sound the same
pretty
plugged in.
right, pretty close. I mean, I were close. So you said you started singing in 2021.
Hmm.
And then you started playing, when did you start playing live gigs? Was it right after that? Shortly?
No, so it would have been a little bit of time. That was so like I was saying, that was for church worship. I had to audition the next day after singing for Courtney.
Mhm.
And I didn't even know how to sing into a mic. Like it sounded so weird to hear my voice in the room. And I ended up asking Pastor Ben at the time, I'm like, can I just sing to you like right here? Like it's just us, right? Like I had no clue. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And so he recorded it. And then I got onto that worship team. And so I did that I'm still with that team. I play mostly on Wednesdays and stuff now versus the weekends, obviously with gigging and everything. But so I got with them. And then somewhere around the summer of 23, I was asked to throw a band together for an event. And so I did. And it was basically all guys from church. It was me and a drummer that was the intern at the time, my buddy Paul, still plays bass with me live and then plays on all my recordings as well,
Shout out, Paul.
and my buddy Jake, and we just ran with it. And it was for a group of guys that had never played together. It was fairly tight. Like I think everybody had nerves. Like it for as much as we had all played not together, it was different to come together and do that. But we nailed that, and then we had a few shows, and then as that slowly kind of stopped happening, that's when I started really pushing my solo stuff. And so I think I'd called you up and was like, asked you all these questions like A to Z. How
Mhm.
do I start doing this? What do I charge? All that. Yeah, just I put together a plan and decided what songs I was going to do. And like we were talking about before, having a variety was huge and all that. I just really decided to go for it as a part time thing. And so it was band stuff, solo stuff on the side, both. And then somewhere along that time, as the next year approached, that's when Farmer's Daughters were actually seeking a guitarist. And I had seen the post on Facebook multiple times. And just like everything else growing up, I always was like, well, oh, I'm doing good, but I don't think I'm ready to like take
Like
on that
that
band or
good,
anything.
right?
So I put off the post and I seen it again later that day, and there's something in my head that just rattled like, "Hey, no, throw your name in that hat. Like, what are you doing?" Like, that's what you said about
Why not?
yeah. You'd said the same thing 2 years ago, and look at you now. Like, you're starting to make something of this. So like, why not? So I
Mhm.
did, and it was a good fit. We went and had some rehearsals together. They had just been kind of coming back after a little bit more of a lengthy hiatus as a band and started booking shows again. And pretty soon before you know it, it was starting off with like opening up for festival events. And then next thing you know, we're opening up for national acts in the summertime, like Easton Corbin and Eli Young last summer. And it's just, it's been a whirlwind of an experience. And it's really opened my eyes to growth as a musician,
Mhm.
mostly as a guitarist, because I had to cover both sides now, like lead and rhythm stuff. And so I don't even have time to practice anymore lately. So
I know.
I really do all my practicing
While you're
live and,
playing. Yeah.
right on the spot. It's do or die time.
Right. Well, it's funny too, like playing gigs, like you're busy doing that and your solo stuff, Farmers Daughters, and even just jamming, you know? Like when do you ever just get to jam?
No, never. Yeah, it's kind of non-existent at this point.
And now
You
we
want to say hi?
have Emmy on
Can you wave?
camera.
Oh, you don't want to wave?
She's shy.
You're gonna be shy. Yeah. Where was I with that stuff? I've met a lot more that are not like that, and that they are, kind of what I've developed into, which is the mentality of the like rising tide raises all ships. And so that's what I've tried to do, especially in the last year or so, which we can get into that stuff too, of how things went from part time to full time for me. And really at the end of the day, it's like life is so short. Like, why would you not just make friends with people and like give back and help out? And
Mhm.
there's no need to like cut people short and try to climb the ladder and kick people off as you go up. It's like if you meet the right group of people and you do it that way, I think you'll go a lot farther than if you try to, go into survival mode with it.
Well, right, and it's at the end of the day, it's just, like, kind of doesn't really matter how good you are. It just depends as far as, like, working with people. It just depends, like, if you're a good guy or not.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt the sense of community out there, and I'm going to continue to be pushing with that as I continue to write more stuff and put more original music out there. And to me, that like with the last year, long story short, because I talk about this, a lot, but like we lost our son in July, and so
Mhm.
for me, trying to and for my family, I've noticed too, because Courtney's jumping on board with me with like creating things to give back, and so like I partnered with Henry's Heroes this last year. And so far, we donated like $2,000 worth of merch,
Yeah, that's crazy.
sales and profits. And that is the best way that I found to like create some kind of sense of structure and like gluing pieces back together is to give back. And so as his passing, pushing this into full time, not going back to, regular life because I was not happy with where I was at, and it's just like, why it's so short. Why, waste your time, doing something that you don't want to do. And if it's going to work for your family and it's like, obviously, if it wasn't working financially and it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't be doing it because it would be putting my family under. But
Mhm.
week after week, even through the winter here, it's seriously has just God's kept his end of the deal up, man. And I cannot fathom a few years back having, this become full time and for this to work. And so to give back has been the biggest sense of accomplishment in music so far. At the end of the day, I don't care if it doesn't even take off. If it grows, I only want to use that growth as a bigger platform to keep, making a difference for
Yeah,
families.
and even as far as, like, with, Henry's Heroes here, I have it pulled up. Because you guys yeah, you've been helping doing shirts and stuff and selling them at your gigs and kinda donating that money, right?
Yeah, everything. So it started off with just doing the shirts that I created, the created with a purpose.
Mhm.
And at some point in time, I was looking at the books and financially, I'm like, why am I not giving back more? And so I decided to, like, it's been my Chase Grant shirts, my CDs, even sometimes just tips. I'll add it up at the end of the week and go, and I don't need an abundance of money from the weekend. Why
Sure.
don't I just, give it back? Because people have been faithful in giving to me. And I'm not going to, overindulge on that. I'm going to give it back to a cool cause. So the and that it's a special one for me because they helped us when we were in the hospital too. We were nominated by friends to, receive help from them too.
Mhm.
So it wasn't just a random encounter. They've been very good to me and my family and just plan on keeping working with them as the years roll by and
Yeah.
maybe do some events and stuff.
Well, I know, I was just looking at their website here, they have, like, a 2025 walk. It'd be cool to, do a solo gig there, or, I mean, we could even do a duo show or something, and, yeah, play at, like, an event like that too. It'd be cool.
Yeah. I know that last year that she was talking about that because I had just met these girls and they have a good time out there and it's a very good cause, their walk
Sure.
they do out there over in St. Martin.
Well, to wrap this up, where can, people find you?
So
Online,
you can
Facebook?
find the easiest way is basically all the socials,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. It's just Chase Grant Music. Also, my personal page kind of links you up to. There's a link tree and then also this website here too, chasegrantmusic.com. And it looks like I need to make an update on
Yeah,
that because I don't
dude,
have
we all
this.
do, man. We all do. It's a full-time job doing this social media stuff, man.
I blame that social media manager of mine. His name is Chase Grant. Need to get on that guy.
Yeah, yeah, on Facebook, you got all your shows on here.
Yeah. Yep. I'm always adding in events for the shows and making videos and topics about things and talking about them. And it's
Dude,
the easiest way to find it is either the website or Facebook, and all roads lead to the same destination. Really, if you go on the website, that's clickable links to all that stuff.
yeah, I mean, now here you're opening for, Alex Williams at Raleigh's, which is gonna be sweet, dude. Like, you got stuff coming up. Yeah, you got shirts on here, got a little bit of everything, shows, and so yeah,
I've set a lot of goals for 2025, and so far, I think I've crushed just about every one of them, including putting out an entire album. Actually, two albums, really, because I had the EP that came out earlier this year, the 4-song EP, and then the full length 11-song album.
mhm.
And
Yeah, dude,
actually, we're
you're
gonna
kicking
get
butt.
end up getting another song out before the end of the year here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Chase and I, we just recorded a new tune, something that I kind of been working on, and I've kind of been working on like the production value of things, and needed something to kind of kick me in the butt some more. So kind of wrote a little song, got Chase on it. He's got a spin in a verse and added some vocals at the chorus, and so yeah, that'll be out. I don't know, couple weeks or so. Figure that out, and yeah, you put out a lot of stuff this year, man. You got a full record now, and it's looking good.
I'm loving it, and I'm trying to be as creative as I can because I think that I've always had a sense of doing that. It's nice
Hmm.
to finally have an outlet to really dump that into.
Sure. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Congrats on the record again. Yeah. Wrap this up. Yeah, we got a show this weekend on Saturday. Private party. It's gonna be fun. We'll be jamming again. Haven't in a while, and should
Come see us
probably.
next weekend at Froggy's in
Yeah, I'll be at
Pine City.
Froggy's, and that'll be the 20th, I believe. If that sounds right, dude. I don't know. Are you that way too? Like, just oh, I
The
don't know.
dates
Are
all
you
running
playing this?
together.
Oh man, dude, it's horrible.
Well,
It's horrible.
yeah, like off camera, I had to look up that one for. I'm like, where am I gonna be at again Friday? Like,
I know, dude.
I'm like,
It's
they all run together at some point. As I'm excited for a fresh start in 26.
I know, same. But all right, bro. Nice talking to you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah,
And we'll
thanks,
we'll
man.
do it again. We'll have you co-host some stuff too, and while I kind of get this stuff rolling. But yeah, thanks for being the first guest on this little Atlanta 10,000 sounds thing I'm doing.
I love it.
And yeah, we'll chat later, bro.
See you, man. Thank
All
you.
right. Yep. See you, buddy. Bye.
Bye.